Hello again, fight fans. I am Jason Burgos for Sherdog.com, and I'm joined by the first and only strawweight champion in LFA history, as you can tell. On October 30th at LFA 94, she will put her gold on the line for the first time against Lupita Godinez. And that woman I speak of is the multi-time BJJ champion, the demo goddess known as the Little Monster, aka Vanessa Demopoulos. Madam Monster, thanks for the time before your upcoming title fight.
What's happening, everybody?
I love it.
That's the best introduction I've had in a while, and I love it so much.
I love the energy. I'm feeling the positive way. I'm feeling positive as we go into these plethora of questions. Now, 2020 has been a wild, busy year for you. In January, you won your third fight in LFA. In July, you win the inaugural strawweight title fight. Then you follow that up, opportunity on Contender Series. Now, a lot of fighters have been signed straight away from the LFA to the UFC, especially champions, albeit often for short notice fights. But when the UFC did call, and instead of offering a UFC fight on a UFC card, they offered a Contender Series fight a month later. Like, what were your thoughts? Were you like just excited, happy for the opportunity? No, you've only got 6 fights, or were you sort of like, damn, I have to prove myself again? I just won a major title. Other LFA champions go straight into the UFC. What's up with that?
Yeah, the second one. And it's like I didn't even get to go to sleep that night. Like, I won the bout. I'm so happy. Like, I'm just sitting there, like, responding to everybody because, like, I love the fans so much, right? And, like, I'm sitting there talking to everybody. It's like 4:30 in the morning. And I get the phone call for the opportunity to go to the Contender Series. And I'm like, where's the contract at? You know, but also, like, I don't ever shy away from an opportunity or a challenge. You know, like, if I'm ready, I'm ready, and I was ready. Like, I did just get done fighting a 4-round fight.
Yep.
And that shit was a wild one, you know, against Sam Hughes. Like, to go into the 4th round of anything, it's like, that's championship rounds. You know, like, you just fought a whole fight, and now you're still fighting. Like, and to take the opportunity to go to the Contenders, like, within the month, you know, we had, I think it was like 3.5 weeks of preparation to really get out there and get going. And, like, you got to rev yourself back up for that. But, I mean, I was like, you know what? I proved myself already. I'll prove myself again. I'll do it again. I'll do it again. I'll do it again. And that's the same thing with walking into this title fight. It's like, I have all the tools necessary. I am the champion.
Yep.
What is it? You know, like, let's go out there, let's do the damn thing, and let me earn my contract the way I'm supposed to earn my contract. They're waiting for me to do this, so let's go get it.
Now, you come up short in the fight, very good fight, very close fight, and I want to get your thoughts on, like, specific points of the fight to see if they're, like, areas of evolution for this camp. Now, because of optics, perception in a fight, you know, a lot of that can affect the judging and stuff like that. During the fight, Paul Felder mentioned that you often fight and often get in bad positions, and that because of your BJJ talent, you usually turn that negative into a positive. In this fight, you didn't, and because of that, while you certainly were not getting beat up or anything like that, the optics of being on your back, not trying to get, you know, back up, probably swayed the judges. First, do you agree with Felder's assessment, and is it something you're trying to work on during this camp? And second, as much as you have confidence in your fantastic jiu-jitsu skills, are there times you're feeling like, you know what, if it's not, I'm not feeling it, I'm not getting the submissions, I gotta work back up to my feet. I can't let these optics of being on my back affect my wins and losses.
Yeah, I worked a lot on that, and it's, you know, it sucks that MMA is a point game too.
Yes.
And
yes.
It's a point game. And that was the same problem that if I ran into a problem was the problem that I would run into with jiu-jitsu. And it's like, there was times where I would medal at like the Worlds or the Pan Ams, and it's like, I would lose on like half a point, you know, like I would submit everybody all the time, but I'd lose on like half a point just because it looks like it's a different position, right? And like certain positions score more than others. And, you know, I will give it up to Corey McKenna is who I fought for the Contender Series. She played a very smart game. You know, I even hit her up afterwards and I was like, girl, congratulations on earning that contract. Like, cause that's the type of person I am. But yeah, MMA is a points game, you know, so you got to look out for that too. And that's something, you know, that's something that's got to be on the books.
falling short of earning that UFC contract could be a devastating thing for people. Did the fact that you were already the LFA champion, knew you had big fights waiting for you, and essentially kind of were going to get a bunch more chances to impress the UFC, did it kind of soften the blow? Did it soften the disappointment from falling short in the Contender Series?
No, fuck no.
All right.
Fuck no.
Fair
like,
enough.
yes, I'm the LFA champ, you know, but I'm pissed. Like, I don't ever want to lose at nothing. Like, why even take an L in the first place, right? Like, yeah, no, I mean, it doesn't matter. Like, I want to go out there. I want to fight. I want to win. I'm a warrior. Like, that's what we do. You know, like, that's who I am. I'm always fighting. And I'm always fighting for everything in life. But the thing that softened the blow, the reason why I didn't go into some sort of deep hole of devastation is because I know who I am as a person.
Okay.
You know, I'm a good person. I love myself. I love everybody around me. I'm always trying to spread positivity and give people inspiration. And that is what keeps me going every single day. My little brother this morning actually just sent me a message thanking me for being a light in his life, you know, and for guiding him and for being such a huge inspiration to him. And it's like things like that. Like, you can't pay for that kind of stuff. Like, you can't win enough for that kind of stuff. Like, winning in a cage is one thing, but I win in life. And yeah, but no, just because I'm the champion, like, that loss was a loss and it fucking hurt, you know? Like,
and
yeah.
To get that comment from a brother is as impressive as anything, because if anybody talks shit about each other, it's brothers and sisters. So to get that, that's impressive. I'm impressed by that as much. Now, let's talk about this upcoming first title defense with Lupita. She has strong wrestling backgrounds, kind of runs in the family. However, even in her last fight, she showed she likes to stand up, has some very sound boxing. In those instances where you might want to take it to the mat, she has the skill set to make that very difficult for you. Has there been like any adjustments in camp and purposefully adding certain wrinkles to prepare for, you know, to take down an opponent who's already a pretty good wrestler?
Yeah, I mean, my camp has been going really well, so that's as much as I'm going to answer that question.
Fair enough. Just give away the game plan. Just do it.
Let me just tell you everything.
Now, when it hits the mat, I have no doubt she watched the fight, like you mentioned earlier, with McKenna. Will try and copy things she did to stay out of danger. How much has camp been about addressing that specifically, the things that you maybe didn't get done against Chris, and how do you address that? Is it new techniques you got to add? Is it kind of just shoring up little technical mistakes maybe you made in the fight that you can't do again? Or is it like we talked about earlier, you know, just got to work up back to the feet, approach this from a different way because what's happening now ain't working?
Well, I'm always improving, you know, win or lose, whatever. Like, I'm back in the gym the very next week, you know, and I'm working on everything. So that's just who I am as a person, as an athlete. Like, I look at martial arts as martial arts. Like, I want to master some shit, you know? I want to be one of the best that there ever was. So, like, you can't just take a win and be like, oh, okay, my skills are good. I ain't never going to grow from here.
Yep.
What's the point in growing? No, fuck that, you know? I had those wins leading up on the LFA, and every single time I came back into the cage a stronger athlete. Every single time. And this doesn't change, you know? If anything, I'm more pissed off. So, you know... Like, I've been training, I've been working, I've been doing details. That's who I am. That's who I am as a person.
Now, without a doubt, most fighters' end game as they work their way up in the sport is the UFC. But recently, Bellator has finally wisened up and started pulling a lot more talent from the LFA. If Bellator came calling with a multi-fight deal at flyweight, because they don't have strawweight, would you be open to it, or do you feel strawweight is your optimal division and flyweight maybe be pushing it a little bit too much?
You know, I never even put that into consideration. You know, even if Bellator had a strawweight division, UFC is where I'm trying to go to. Okay. And because I need to make a large impact in the world. You know, I want to show the world a story of overcoming and becoming, you know, and who you can become from your past, that you're not a victim to your circumstances. And I want to use fighting as a platform to do that, you know. And I mean, UFC is where it's at. That's where it's at for me. That's always where my heart has been. That's always the direction that I've led to. So I got to follow my heart.
Fair enough. Now, this last segment I like to call 5 for Fighters, where I'm going to give you 5 topics, maybe 5 questions, maybe 5 phrases, and 5 things, and I want to get your rapid reaction on them. Now, this one's a softball, but this one is best movie or show you have seen over the last 3 years.
Oh. The Good Place. I just got done watching The Good Place, and I just love that show so much. So it's a Netflix original. It talks about ethics, and just being a good person, and it's pretty dope. It's pretty dope.
Is it something you binge and you watched it the whole thing over a few days, or with training you had to slowly make your way through it?
Oh, I mean, I gotta slowly make my way through everything. So. There's no such thing as being able to binge anything, and that includes books, and I love reading. So,
yeah. Now, I'm always curious on this. When it comes to being a woman, a strong woman, what's the worst part about being a female fighter and dating? And do you bring the belt with you on dates?
It's like, one, I can probably beat up most of my boyfriends. Mm-hmm. And then two, it's like I'm always looking a hot mess because I'm always in the gym, So, like, these poor guys, like, they want to take you out on a date. And it's like, you can schedule within, like, these 2 blocks of time and you only have a 3-hour window. Like, yeah, dating is rough.
Would you say it's guys approach you less, or do they approach you seeing you, she's small, she's, petite, she's not, and then they find out she's a badass, and like, oh man, I didn't expect that.
I mean, I get approached quite often, and some know that I'm a badass and some don't, and I don't think that works against me in any way, but I think that they end up biting off more than they can chew, because they just don't, if they're not a fighter, they don't understand the fighter lifestyle, and if they are a fighter, they don't understand exactly how dedicated I am. So, I really don't date often. So
now I know you're very proud of your Greek heritage. When I say the words Greek food, first thoughts.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so I love spanakopita. Like, it is my absolute favorite food, but it's got to be made by my grandfather. So yes, my papu makes the best spanakopita. Mm-hmm. Yes.
Is there Greek food that you can use and eat during fight camp, or anything, especially the good stuff, is after fight?
No, most Greek food is good to go, and
really?
My grandfather used to make me the best food when I was in fight camp, because a lot of it is very protein-based, very vegetable-based, there's some rice in there for some carbs.
Nice.
And, but the way that they mesh it all together is just so good. They're so good. I'm such a happy person when I'm cutting weight because I understand nutrition, so, I never suffer through my weight cuts.
All right, the last one, the most fitting as you go into this title fight. When I say the name Lupita Godinez, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, Lupita's, she's dope. I know that she used to follow me a lot on IG. Like, she reached out to me a few times prior to me fighting Sam. So it's like, she was, she's a up and comer. She's trying to find her way too. And calling out the champ is a very good way of doing that. So, and I take that as a respectful thing. She hasn't been rude towards me in any way. So yeah, but I mean, I'm ready to go out there and fucking dominate some shit. No offense to her, but I'm mad, so let's get it.
So when she hollered at you on Instagram, it was to pretty much set up the booking of you two?
No.
Okay.
She reached out to me prior to me fighting Sam Hughes, hey, good luck out there, that kind of thing. So It was very friendly. And then, she kind of put things in motion on trying to fight me, and I was like, hey girl, I just fought twice in 1 month, pump the brakes a little bit, but soon after that though, I was already back in the gym, and I was ready to fight again, so I was like, let's get it.